since about 2015 to the present, about 7 years, it's been quite stable and DSOs have gained industry acceptance. And I don't think there's going to be anything dramatic one way or the other with conventional DSOs.
Where do you see things heading? And is it more in the favor of DSOs? Is it more in favor of the individuals? Like where if you put, and I know you don't know the future, right? We don't know exactly what's going to happen, but if you were to project out, where do you kind of see things heading?
Yeah, no, I think everything's trending more favorable to DSOs. I think it's pretty stable now. When I started doing this, obviously in the 90s, it was like there were brand new opinions and decisions coming out, and it was a total flux. But by about 2014 or 15, we started to get some stability. There weren't any dental boards that were actively trying to put DSOs out of business anymore. They understood them, and it was, you have to follow the rules. You're going to have to follow the rules, but we're not questioning your existence or your right to exist. And I would say since about 2015 to the present, about 7 years, it's been quite stable and DSOs have gained industry acceptance. And I don't think there's going to be anything dramatic one way or the other with conventional DSOs. The part of the industry that still reminds me of DSOs in 2012, 13, and 14 is, the telehealth platforms. There's a lot of stuff going on with clear aligner programs in the United States, and, the AAO is unhappy with them and filing complaints, many of them unfounded, I should say, but filing a lot of complaints against, clear aligner programs and those that do telehealth platforms. And the law, there are telehealth statutes that have given us some guidance that it's allowed and it should be permitted, but there's a lot of details, or you're filling in, the skin and bones, or the meat on the bones, if you will, about, what is exactly going to be permitted in a telehealth context. When is an in-person visit absolutely mandated? What are the limits of what you're going to be able to diagnose? And the thing that's complicating it makes it exciting, but it's complicating it is technology's going up. It's not static.
Like it's not going to slow down. Yeah.
Yeah. Like 5 years ago, we might have said, and we might have been correct, hey, within the limits of technology today, you can't take an x-ray remotely, or you can't, I don't know about an x-ray, but you know what I mean? You can't diagnose a certain condition remotely or look at that patient's teeth. But if you look at what's going on with the iPhone and some of these things in the last 7 years, and a lot of the artificial intelligence, it's been incredible that you absolutely can diagnose a bunch of stuff with the iPhone now, looking at somebody's mouth, where 5 years ago, you couldn't. But today you look at how dramatic these cameras are and the nuances and details of things that can be caught on these cameras. It's evolving dramatically. And if we have this conversation, you and me, and I hope we do, in a year or two, it might even be different in terms of other things that you can detect, with the iPhone. So that's, that part of the industry. What can you do through telehealth is still in a state of flux. Part of it is because rules and regulations are being adopted. But the interesting thing is, even when they adopt one set of rules, the technology seems to evolve to obsolete it.